What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are back for another review episode, and this one is reviewing night two of SummerSlam. If you watch our video from yesterday, we reviewed night one. We went over all the matches, how we felt about the results, and everything along those lines. So let's go ahead and talk about night two now, um, and really kind of dive in on what we think happened, what should have happened, anything like that. Now, for starters, I just want to say we had 6 title matches tonight, which is crazy. Um, and that's also a key thing that I'm going to talk about later that matters. So just please remember all 6 matches tonight were title matches. The first match of the night was the Women's World Championship triple threat between Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and defending champion Naomi. Naomi got an awesome entrance with her dad playing guitar to guide her down to the ring. It was really, really cool. And honestly, the match was so good and it cooked, and we were getting crazy spots. Naomi getting double teamed by Rhea and Io, and all these just back and forth moments. I'm not going to bother with play by play on everything, but basically, leading up to the end, we get this huge, basically Io just going on a tear, attacking everybody, and it leads to Naomi looking down and out, and Io going for some kind of top rope maneuver with Rio on the top rope as well. Maybe a top rope Spanish fly, maybe a top rope Hurricanrana. I'm not really sure. But her foot kind of slips. And that gives Rhea a moment to hit a massive off the top, super riptide. And it looks like the match might be won when Naomi comes in and rolls up Rhea for the win, meaning that your winner and still women's world champion is Naomi, but also a roll up win that actually felt healthy. I know a lot of people hate the constant roll up wins that we get in the WWE, but this one made sense. It was a conniving heel that sat back, plucked her moment late in the match, so everybody was still kind of beat up, held the tights. It all worked. It wasn't your typical roll up win to end a match out of nowhere. It was very well done and very well executed, and I think that Naomi deserves this, and it was the right choice to have her win. After that, we had the 6 pack challenge, TLC match for the WWE Tag Team Championships. And this match was insane. There were so many good spots, so many amazing moments. The few ones that stand out in my mind that are very memorable. The Ray Fenix frog splash out of the ring, to I think it was Nathan Frazier through the table, or it might have been Montez Ford, but I think it was Nathan Frazier. The amazing Axiom Spanish fly off the top to the outside of the ring, taking Angelo Dawkins with him through the double tables was amazing. Big Doc really having a great moment. Candice LeRae getting involved, and then B-Fab, and then Nikki Cross. And it ended up resulting in Candice LeRae taking this huge tumble outside of the ring through a ladder, and it looked like she went knee first. So hopefully she's okay, because it was a gnarly looking bump. And then Tommaso Ciampa being on the top, holding on the championship, doing the dangling spot, and it looking like they were going to recreate the Edge, Jeff Hardy spear from all those years ago, with Nathan Frazier going for the spear, and then Ciampa using that core strength to lift his legs up, and watching Frazier just dive to the ground for no reason. And it really would have been cool if DIY had gotten the win right there, but they didn't. And then all the way, Eric Rowan getting involved, and the Street Profits taking him out, Uncle Howdy getting involved, all kinds of crazy stuff. A huge moment where DIY did the classic top of the ladder fall to the outside of the ring through the multiple stacked tables. Looked great. And when it was all said and done and the smoke settled, the team that had the most help, Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy, climbing to the top, retrieving the titles, and by proxy, your winners and still WWE Tag Team Champions, the Wyatt Six. I don't think there was a right or wrong call in this match. I think that, honestly, I do think that if you wanted to get the tag titles off of the Wyatt Six in an easy way without them having to take a loss, or I guess a clean loss, you could have done it here. But I think them retaining is fine. They just won the tag titles. They looked great in this match. I do think that it was a very good match. I also want to say, I do know that if you watch my predictions video, I actually did a die roll. I rolled this die right here, and I got a 5, which I just got again. I know that that doesn't sound true, but I promise you it is. And I rolled it twice in that video and got a 5 both times, which meant that we picked Motor City Machine Guns. Ironically enough, I actually watched another content creator who I like watching, Santi Zap. If you haven't watched him, please check him out. He pulled a random name out of the hat and also got the Machine Guns. So I was actually kind of hoping the Machine Guns would win so that Santi and I would have that crazy moment. But I do think that this was actually the right pick overall. So I'm happy about it, and we'll move on. The next match was the Women's Intercontinental Championship match between Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. Becky Lynch with a new entrance theme. Very interesting, but I'm down for it. Her old theme was too lovable. So giving her a new theme that doesn't have all that emotional attachment to it is good. And I don't think the theme was bad. But that's not the point. Really good match here. Really good. Really brutal. Them beating each other repeatedly with weapons. Eventually Lyra being zip tied, cuffed, and that led to some really great moments. And it was just a good match. And eventually Bayley comes out. It looks like Bayley might turn heel and beat up Lyra. She ends up going after Becky. The fight continues, and eventually Bayley goes for that for a punch with the steel chain wrapped around her hand. Becky ducks. She hits Lyra. Lyra goes down. Becky goes for the manhandle slam and goes for the cover, and Bayley just kind of watches and then stumbles in the ring. I don't know why. If she was that dead set on stopping Bayley or Becky, she wouldn't have just broke up the pin. But whatever. I digress. Not a bad moment overall. And Becky Lynch ends up winning. So, and still your Women's Intercontinental Champion, Becky Lynch. I don't know. It was an odd choice. I'm hoping this leads to Bayley eventually fighting for that Women's Intercontinental title and taking it off Becky. I really thought Lyra should have won here. I'm curious to see where things go from here. So I'm going to reserve my judgment for now, but I do think without knowing the plans, I'm inclined to say that this was the wrong winner, but we'll have to wait and see. After that, we had the steel cage match for the United States Championship with Solo Sikoa defending that title against Jacob Fatu. The match was really good. We had some great moments. It was honestly kind of standard issue. Eventually, the MFT got involved with Tonga Loa, Tala Tonga, and JC Mateo. Also noticed Tala Tonga and the Job Squad because they are just jobbing out JC Mateo and Tonga Loa to Jacob Fatu every week, and that does continue here, just so you know. But eventually Tala Tonga actually handcuffs Jacob Fatu to the top of the cage opposite of the door. And it looks brilliant, and it looks like this is a great way for Solo to retain. Jacob actually breaks the chain of the handcuffs, stops Solo from escaping. Also, I should say, Jimmy Uso did come out to kind of slow down MFT, but the number game 3-1. He took out Tonga and JC, but then got taken out by Tala Tonga. So, anyway, this leads to eventually Jacob breaking the chains, stopping Solo, catching up to Solo, leaning outside of the cage. Tala Tonga big booting the cage door shut into Jacob Fatu's face, allowing Solo Sikoa to escape. Meaning, and still your United States champion Solo Sikoa retains his title. And then Tala Tonga and Solo start to retreat. He tells JC to get him. And Jimmy super kicks JC, throws him in the ring, shuts the door. Now Jacob's in the ring with Tonga Loa and JC Mateo, and he just beats the dog shit out of both of them. Goes up for that big Jacob Fatu best moonsault ever, stops himself, climbs up to the top, and hits a mega moonsault from the top onto both of them while they were standing. Looks clean. Looks like nobody got hurt from it. I'm happy that we didn't have a repeat of the tsunami at War Games. But yeah, Solo is still the champ. I actually think that's the right choice. I picked Jacob to win in my predictions, but I only did that because I thought he would. But I actually think Solo winning here is the right choice. It allows Jacob to kind of either A, continue this continue this feud, which they probably will, but they shouldn't. Allow him to move on. But it also gives Solo some more time with the title that he just won, and he's been doing fairly well with in terms of storytelling. Match-wise, he's been struggling, but storytelling has been great, and I think that there's room for growth, and the mid-card titles are supposed to be that, so I don't think you should take it off of him just yet. Moving on to our penultimate match of the night, we had the Intercontinental Championship match between AJ Styles and current champion Dominic Mysterio. Dom came out wearing gear inspired by Eddie Guerrero, saying that this was the 20th, maybe the 25th. No, it was the 20th anniversary of Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio fighting for custody of Dom at SummerSlam. It was cool. The ring gear was inspired by Eddie, but then AJ Styles comes out riding in a lowrider with his son, and also has Eddie Guerrero inspired ring gear and a shirt that says Styles Heat. And it was really cool. And we had a pretty bog standard match. Nothing too fancy. Nothing out of the ordinary, honestly. Pretty good match. We did get the Eddie Guerrero chair smack throw. Dom tried to do it. AJ Styles put the chair on his head and laid down too, so the ref didn't disqualify anybody because he could, either A, he wasn't sure, or B, he could tell that they were both faking, whatever. We lead up to the end of the match. AJ gets Dom in the calf crusher. Dom's boot comes off a la Kurt Angle versus Eddie Guerrero, WrestleMania 20. And Dom is able to pick up the win thanks to that, with a beautiful frog splash. He hits him with the boot while the ref's distracted, and then hits a frog splash. But overall, clean. Obviously hit him with the boot, and they show you in the replay that Dom actually unzipped the boot, which means it was all part of the plan, which is really good because that means Dom is growing as a character and getting smarter and getting more effective and more degenerate-like and more Eddie Guerrero-like, which is really good. But anyway, the point is, after a massive frog splash, 1, 2, 3, and still the Intercontinental Champion, Dominic Mysterio. I think this was brilliant. I think this is the right winner. I'm happy about it. I wanted it to happen. I'm glad it happened. Good work. And then finally, in the main event of the night, the WWE Championship. I'm so tired of it being called undisputed. It is not disputed or undisputed anymore. It is, a matter of fact, disputed because of the World Heavyweight Championship. Whatever. Cody Rhodes, King of the Ring, challenges John Cena, current champion. John Cena has the big entrance. Cody Rhodes has an awesome entrance. And it feels like they're teasing him going full Homelander. It's a street fight. It goes back and forth. Some weapons get involved, some chairs, some stuff like that, some tables. We get a couple AAs here, a couple crossroads there. Eventually, Cena hits this massive AA off of one table through the other announce table. Gets him back in the ring. It's only a 2. They fight in the crowd for a while. They end up going under the stage and then coming out of the Cody Vader, with Cena holding Cody on his shoulders, hitting another massive AA on the stage or on the ramp, getting back down to the ring. Cody hitting the triple crossroads or the trifecta crossroads, however you want to word it, and Cena kicking out. Cena hitting the double AA, the AA, pick him back up, AA him again, picked him back up, put him on the top rope, hit a super AA off the second rope. So this is 3 AAs back to back, and the last one being a super AA. And of course, super Cody kicks out of that. A little bit more back and forth. Cody teasing a lot of heel actions, using the turnbuckle as a weapon. Getting really upset about it, trying to use the title as a weapon. Cody really kind of being the heel in this match, but not officially turning heel because it is a street fight. It's all allowed. Eventually, it all comes down to Cena sets up a table in the ring, goes for another super AA, gets countered. Cody gets off, climbs up, hits a super cutter off the top rope. It looked horrible. It looked more like a weird bulldog pull thing. It didn't look good at all, but Cena sold it well. Gets up. Cody basically does the I'm sorry, I love you, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair moment, hits him with the salute like John Cena does all the time, hits him with the crossroads, and 1, 2, 3, your winner and new WWE champion, Cody Rhodes. After the match, they have this big, hug. Cena presents Cody with the title. Cody raises Cena's hand. Cody leaves. Cena has his moment with the fans. I got to be honest, I thought that it was really, really bad ending. Great match. So much better than the WrestleMania match, but the ending was so lackluster and disappointing because Cody kicked out of, effectively speaking, 7 AAs, one of which was through a table, one of which was on the ramp, and one of which was a super AA, the last one, and 3 back-to-back. Cody Rhodes kicked out of 7 AAs. 7. Earlier this year, Randy Orton, he technically took 5, but one of them he turned into an RKO, so they were both down and out. One of them there was a ref bump right before, so the ref wasn't there to make the count, or it would have counted. Cody's he's kicking out of too much, and I don't like it. No official heel turn, which also felt weird. I just felt like Cena probably should have retained here. I get Cody's your guy of the future, and you probably wanted Cody to be the guy to beat Cena, but it would have made more sense for Cena to turn face again after losing instead of before losing. If you weren't going to turn Cody heel. Now, there's still time to turn Cody heel, but as it stands, I do think this was a weird choice. Also, as just a overall thing, I don't like that the only title that changed hands tonight was the main event title, the WWE title. 6 title matches and only 1 changed hands. This is SummerSlam. There should be surprises. There should be big moments. Lyra winning should have probably been one of the other changes. And either Jacob or the tag titles. I wanted Naomi to retain. I think she should have. I think Dom probably should have. And I even think that Solo and the tag titles had room to say that they should have retained because of the youngness of their title reigns. But Becky's been champion for a while now. This feud is done. It was the right time, and I'm disappointed that it didn't. If you weren't going to do that, you should have put one of the women's tag titles on this night and put like Becky or Solo or Dom on night 1 so that you could have had multiple title changes tonight and had 1 title change on night 1, but only 3 title matches. That way it kind of would have balanced out, because instead you had 2 title changes and only 1 retain on night 1, and then just 5 retains to open the night tonight, and then ending with a title change. And it just felt weird. It felt poorly paced. And ironically enough, the one title that did change hands was the one I definitely think shouldn't have, especially with how the show ended. So that is my gripe about that. But then let's talk about the ending of the show, because this was huge. At the end of the night, John Cena finishes his celebration. It looks like the show's about to go off the air, and then suddenly it happens. The music hits. It is the return of the beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. He comes out. The crowd is losing their mind. Cole and Wade are losing their mind. He comes out. He takes off his jacket. He takes off his hat, sporting a medium length haircut, longer hair, ponytail, half ponytail, and half of it kind of hanging down. Definitely a strange look for Brock. I'm not used to it. Gets in the ring, hits a huge F5 on John Cena, and that's how we close the show, with Brock Lesnar back in the WWE and standing tall. It's definitely going to be controversial, in my opinion. If Brock has been deemed not a part of whatever was being investigated, then I don't think he should be punished forever. If something were to come out saying he was guilty of some heinous shit, then sure, but he wasn't. or at least he hasn't been. So I think that he deserves to live his life and deserves to have his career until otherwise proven guilty. So congratulations to Brock Lesnar for coming back to the WWE after basically 2 years gone. I'm excited to see where this goes. But again, that even further enhances why I think Cena should have retained, because Brock came out and attacked him. He didn't attack Cody. And Brock's clearly the heel in this situation. So why not have Cena be the champion? But I don't know for sure. That's not what this is about. This is just a review of what happened. We're not allowed to fantasy book going forward. So some strange decisions, but overall, honestly, a fantastic watch. All of the matches tonight were great watches. None of them were boring. None of them had major lulls. They were all actually very enjoyable. So a great night 2 to SummerSlam to follow up a great night 1 of SummerSlam. I do think I would probably say night 1 was a little bit better just because of the amazing ending, but a huge surprise on both fronts. And overall, I would say the quality of the night probably slightly goes to night 2, because there was no lull in the sense of Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross, which unfortunately just does end the weekend as the low point of all weekend. But that is going to do it for our SummerSlam Night 2 review, and in general, our SummerSlam review. So let me know what you guys thought of SummerSlam, and let me know if you guys want me to continue doing these for the future, for the next PLE, for NXT PLEs, whatever. That is going to do it for me. As always, I am Pip. Y'all are the greatest, and when in doubt, we'll see you next time. See ya!